Intro sentence. Zeno's Conscience by Italo Svevo, translated by William Weaver, is a classic novel that delves into the complexities of human psychology and the inner workings of the protagonist's mind. The Big Idea. The novel explores the concept of self-deception and the ways in which individuals rationalize their own behaviors and choices. Extended core summary. Zeno's Conscience is a groundbreaking novel by Italo Svevo, written in the early 20th century and often considered a precursor to modernist literature. The story is presented as the introspective account of Zeno, a middle-aged businessman from Trieste, who is undergoing psychotherapy. The narrative unfolds through Zeno's fragmented thoughts and reflections, capturing his struggles with addiction, infidelity, and the complexities of human relationships. As Zeno chronicles his life, he offers insights into his relationships with his overbearing father, his wife, and his various mistresses, particularly the enigmatic Ada. Zeno's engagement with psychoanalysis reveals his deep-seated anxieties and contradictions. He vacillates between self-awareness and self-deception, often rationalizing his failures and addictions, particularly his smoking habit. The novel's structure mimics Zeno's psyche, presenting a non-linear narrative filled with digressions and flashbacks. This technique allows readers to experience Zeno's internal conflicts and the absurdity of his attempts at self-improvement. Central to the narrative is Zeno's relationship with his father, whose oppressive presence looms large throughout his life. Zeno's memories of his father shape his identity and contribute to his lifelong struggles with guilt and inadequacy. His marriage to his wife, Augusta, is marked by a sense of obligation rather than passion. Conversely, his affairs, particularly with the alluring but troubled Ada, symbolize his quest for meaning and fulfillment outside the constraints of domestic life. The theme of time and its passage plays a crucial role in Zeno's Conscience. Zeno reflects on his past choices, illustrating how his perceptions of time influence his understanding of self and relationships. Throughout the novel, there is a persistent tension between Zeno's desire for change and his inability to act upon it, encapsulated in his ironic declaration that he will quit smoking. This paradox highlights the human condition, our struggle between intention and action. Svevo's prose, rich with irony and humor, captures the absurdities of life, making Zeno's Conscience not just a psychological exploration, but also a commentary on modern existence. Zeno's journey is ultimately one of self-acceptance, as he learns to embrace his flaws rather than attempting to escape them. The novel concludes with Zeno recognizing the futility of his pursuit for a definitive understanding of life, suggesting that acceptance of one's contradictions may be the key to a fulfilling existence. Full detailed summary. Zeno's Conscience opens with Zeno recounting his experiences in therapy, intending to write his memoirs as part of his treatment. The narrative is structured around his reflections, creating a patchwork of memories that delve into his life, revealing his struggles with addiction and relationships. Zeno's smoking habit serves as a central metaphor for his inability to control his life and choices, illustrating his self-destructive tendencies. Zeno's relationships are pivotal to the narrative. His marriage to Augusta is characterized by a lack of passion, leading him to seek solace in the arms of other women. His affair with Ada, a vibrant and complex woman, represents Zeno's desire to escape the mundanity of his life. Their relationship is fraught with tension, highlighting Zeno's insecurities and the societal expectations of fidelity and love. The figure of Zeno's father looms over the narrative, representing authority and the weight of familial expectations. Zeno's reflections on his father's strict demeanor and untimely death reveal the profound impact of parental figures on personal identity and self-worth. This relationship underscores themes of guilt and the burden of legacy, as Zeno grapples with feelings of inadequacy in light of his father's expectations. As Zeno navigates his life, he engages in a series of business ventures that often end in failure, mirroring his personal struggles. His interactions with colleagues and friends further expose his contradictions, as he oscillates between self-pity and a desire to be seen as a success. The business failures serve as a backdrop for Zeno's introspection, illustrating how external pressures contribute to his internal chaos. The novel culminates in Zeno's realization of the futility of his quest for self-improvement and understanding. He comes to terms with his flaws, recognizing that human existence is inherently marked by contradictions and uncertainty. This acceptance marks a turning point in Zeno's journey, as he embraces his imperfections rather than seeking to eradicate them. The narrative concludes with a sense of irony, as Zeno reflects on the impossibility of achieving a definitive understanding of life, yet finds solace in the acceptance of his own complexity. Setting and context. Zeno's conscience is set in Trieste, a culturally rich city that was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire during the early 20th century. This historical backdrop is significant as it reflects the complexities of identity and nationality that permeated the lives of its inhabitants. The novel was published in 1923, a time when modernist literature was emerging, characterized by a break from traditional narrative forms and an exploration of psychological depth. Trieste, a melting pot of cultures and languages, serves as a fitting stage for Zeno's existential struggles, mirroring the societal shifts and uncertainties of the post-World War I era. The setting amplifies the stakes of Zeno's internal conflicts as he navigates a society in flux while grappling with his own sense of self. Character sketches. Zeno Cossini, the protagonist, is a wealthy businessman whose life is marred by addiction, infidelity, and self-delusion. His core motivation is to understand himself and his place in the world, yet he often sabotages his efforts through procrastination and rationalization. Zeno's inner conflict manifests in his relationships, particularly with his wife, Augusta, and his mistress, Carla, representing the duality of his desires. Augusta, Zeno's dutiful wife, symbolizes stability and societal expectations, but also embodies Zeno's fears of commitment. In contrast, Carla, with her allure and spontaneity, represents Zeno's yearning for passion and freedom. Their interactions illuminate Zeno's struggles between duty and desire, ultimately driving the narrative's tension. Data and evidence snapshot. Italo Svevo's Zeno's Conscience was published in 1923, emerging from the cultural milieu of early 20th century Europe, marked by the rise of psychoanalysis and modernist literature. The novel explores themes of identity, addiction, and self-deception, resonating with contemporary research on mental health, which indicates that over 20% of adults experience mental illness in their lifetime. Svevo's own struggles with identity as a Jewish author in Italy, coupled with his late embrace of literature, reflect the tensions of his time. The novel's exploration of the human psyche has influenced countless adaptations, including a 1976 film, demonstrating its enduring impact on literature and psychology. Critical perspectives. One major critique of Zeno's Conscience is its fragmented narrative style, which some readers find disorienting. Critics argue that this structure can detract from the emotional weight of Zeno's experiences, making it challenging for readers to engage fully. Additionally, some have pointed out that while the novel offers deep psychological insights, it may falter in providing a coherent moral framework. Critical reception and controversies. Zeno's Conscience has received significant acclaim for its innovative narrative style and psychological depth, earning a place among the classics of modern literature. Critics have praised Svevo's ability to blend humor with serious themes, highlighting the absurdities of life. However, some readers have expressed confusion over the non-linear storytelling and Zeno's unreliable narration, sparking debates about the effectiveness of such approaches in literature. Real-world applications. Therapeutic reflection. Readers can engage in journaling or reflective writing inspired by Zeno's introspection, encouraging self-exploration of personal habits and relationships. Group discussions. Organizing book clubs to discuss the themes of addiction and self-deception can foster understanding and support among participants facing similar challenges. Time management workshops. Utilizing Zeno's reflections on time, workshops can be held to help individuals assess their relationship with time and develop strategies for meaningful change. Discussion and debate questions. How does Zeno's relationship with his father shape his identity and influence his choices throughout the novel? In what ways does Zeno's addiction to smoking serve as a metaphor for his larger struggles with self-control and identity? How does the narrative structure of the novel affect your understanding of Zeno as a character? What role do Zeno's relationships with women play in his quest for self-acceptance? How can Zeno's experiences inform contemporary discussions about mental health and self-improvement? Key takeaways. Self-awareness is crucial in understanding our motivations and actions. The human mind is capable of intricate justifications and rationalizations. The novel highlights the challenges of confronting one's own inner contradictions. Apply this now. Reflect on your own behaviors and thought processes to identify instances of self-deception and rationalization. Practice self-awareness and honesty with yourself to better understand your motivations. Quotes to remember. A powerful quote capturing the book's essence. An insightful line that resonates with the book's theme. A thought-provoking statement from the text.